Thank you, Taylor, and good evening to all of our neighbors out there. We're glad that you've joined us for our telephone town hall. I'm Gainesville Mayor Lauren Poe, and I hope you and your families are safe and will continue to stay safe as Hurricane Ian approaches our area. Tonight, I'll be joined by city leaders to update you about the city's preparations as Hurricane Ian continues to make its way closer to our area. We'll let you know about impacts to city services, facilities, and programs. And we'll have the latest information about shelters and more as we help you and your family prepare for Hurricane Ian. Before I introduce some of the folks that will be able to answer your questions tonight, let me share a few housekeeping items. We are live streaming on Facebook and on the city's website right now. That's GNV-FL.gov, GNV-FL.gov. And this telephone town hall will also be archived online. Please note that questions entered on Facebook are not entered into the question queue. Instead, please call in to ask your question. So again, if you post a question in the Facebook comments, we will not see those. You have to call the number and get your question in the queue that way. So if you do have a question for us tonight, or if you happen to get disconnected, please dial in at 888-400-1932. Again, that number is 888-400-1932. And we invite our Spanish speakers to call 888-400-9342. Now, just let me introduce our speakers before we get to your questions. Tonight, I have with me Interim City Manager Cynthia Curry, General Manager of GRU, Tony Cunningham, and then we've got a literal army of supporting staff here that are in charge of all of the different areas and operations of our city that can answer more specific questions. So we welcome all of them. We welcome you. I'm going to go through some highlights right now, what we know and where we are, and then we'll get to your questions if we're not able to answer those in this introduction. First of all, we encourage folks to visit safegnv.org, SAFEGNV.org. And our city social media accounts. We have presence on Insta, on Twitter, and on Facebook for regularly updated city information. For GRU-related updates, visit gru.com/stormcentral. This has outage maps, restoration info, and emergency phone numbers. So a really good site to save for quick reference. Sandbags. We have started sandbag distribution today. That will continue tomorrow starting at 8 o'clock in the morning. You can get pre-filled sandbags. There's a limit to 10 per neighbor. And you just drive into the Public Works compound on 39th Avenue. That's 405 39th Avenue, just sort of east of 6th Street there. And you just drive through and load up to 10 sandbags. Please only take what you need. But those are ready to go. You can also go to our self-serve sandbag facility, which is at Citizens Field, sort of between Citizens Field and MLK. It's basically a pile of sand and some bags, and you can fill your own and take what you need. So that's right off Waldo Road at the 1400 block of 8th Avenue. So that's 10 per vehicle. Those start at 8 a.m. in the morning and will go until supplies last, or 4 p.m., whichever comes first. Alachua County has activated its 311 critical information line. This is essentially for rumor control. We want to encourage people to use this number, not 911, if they have basic routine questions, or they hear something that doesn't sound quite right, or they see something that shouldn't be going on. If it is an emergency, by all means, dial 911. But for all other questions, go ahead and hit that 311 line, and they'll be able to assist you with your questions. If you cannot get through to 311, you can call 352-264-6557. But go ahead and start with that 311. That should be able to get you where you need to go. Shelters right now that are open. For special needs neighbors, we have our Senior Recreation Center, which is off 34th Boulevard, sort of the intersection of 34th and 441. And so those are for our special needs neighbors, folks with significant mobility problems. You might need permanent oxygen or other medical situations. And so we really ask that you reserve that shelter space for folks that specifically do have special needs. We have 2 other general population shelters. Really, any of our residents can show up there. They're both pet friendly. One is at Eastside High School, the other is at the Newberry Sports Complex. And then we have one more that is a no pet shelter, and that is at Meadowbrook Elementary School. There are additional shelters that can become available if these shelters all hit 75%. And so if you need shelter and you do not feel safe where you are, please make plans to visit one of these shelters. There will be space for everybody. Some important numbers, and I'm really going to encourage you to go to GRU's website to get these and then save them into your phone. We don't want to be looking things up when we're in a stressful situation and forget where to look. So if you go to GRU's website, you can find these phone numbers, but the first is for downed trees, blocked roads, or flooding. Basically things blocking our sort of transportation network. That is 352-393-8161. 352-393-8161. Again, for things like downed trees, blocked roads, and flooding. For power outages or down power lines, that number is 352-334-2871. Again, for power outages, if your power goes out or you do witness some power lines that are down, 352-334-2871. And then for gas leaks, 352-334-2550. So 352-334-2550. Again, it's a good idea to just save those in your phone, and then you'll be able to access them easily if you need to call any of those numbers. Grace Marketplace and St. Francis House are providing emergency shelter for our houseless individuals. They will open Wednesday at 7 p.m. And so if you know anybody or see anybody that is without a home and needs shelter, they can go to either Grace or St. Francis House. The Alachua County Animal Shelter will be closed through Friday. The pet-friendly shelters will have basic pet supplies though, so please direct your pet needs to the shelters. The city has provided its southwest parking garage for free parking for those that wish to park their cars for the duration of the storm if they need a safe place to park. So again, the southwest parking garage will be open and free. Now, I really want to encourage folks, if you have a smartphone, to download the MyGNV app. You can use the MyGNV app, or if you don't have a smartphone, you can go to mygnv.org and report basically anything you can think of, whether it's flooding, tree limbs, or a tree blocking the road. But you can also use it year-round to report things like potholes and street lights that are out or fences that are broken. But this will be the best way for us to catalog and archive all of the issues that we have around our city and be able to develop a plan to respond to those. Now, once the storm clears, we'll be sending our folks out en masse to do a canvass or a survey of the entire city, and they'll start taking notes and reporting what actions need to be taken where. But the more information that you all provide, the more ahead of that we'll be, and we'll be able to start sending crews out and getting us restored as soon as possible. So again, that's the MyGNV app, super easy to use, great year-round, good for Android and iOS, or if you don't have a smartphone, you can go online to mygnv.org. Right now, impacted services, city facilities will be closed starting tomorrow through Friday. We plan on being back open on Monday, but we'll have to assess the damage and our recovery, so stay tuned for when we open back up. But we will definitely have city facilities closed Wednesday through Friday. That is the same for our parks. We love our parks, but we want people to be safe, and most of our parks are heavily wooded and can be dangerous in a storm event. Depot Park will be open tomorrow until noon, just in case you need to run those children a little ragged one last time before you're locked in a house for 48 to 72 hours. But Depot Park will close promptly at noon tomorrow. RTS has reduced services starting tomorrow. We encourage you to go to go-rts.com to see which routes have reduced service. And then with all of our city services, once winds hit a sustained 35 miles an hour, they will be taken off the road. Specifically with RTS, once winds hit 30 miles an hour, the drivers will be instructed to finish their routes, so they won't leave anybody stranded. They will finish out their routes, but then head in to safety. But once winds hit 35 miles an hour, whether it's Gainesville Fire Rescue, Gainesville Police Department, GRU, we cannot have our people out there in unsafe conditions once they hit 35 miles an hour. And so all of those services will shut down until it's safe to return and get back out. Trash collection will be normal tomorrow. We encourage everyone to get their carts and their recycle containers out tonight because they will be starting collection especially early so they can finish their route before they get in any danger. So please, please, if you're a Wednesday pickup household, get those carts and bins out tonight. If you are a Thursday pickup, there will not be pickup on Thursday. So don't take your carts out on Thursday. Those just become deadly projectiles in that situation. We will, if the storm passes and our roads are passable, try to get collection for Thursday households on Saturday. If it is not feasible to do that on Saturday, then that collection will be postponed until the following week, until next Thursday. So you'll have to go 2 weeks between trash collection if you're a Thursday pickup. But we're going to do our best to get our crews out there on Saturday and do that pickup. We'll just have to see how bad the damage is and keep everyone safe. So spread the word with your neighbors about that. Let's see. I'm just going to give you really quickly the latest. Oh, I didn't bring that one. Do you have the? Yeah, that one. Thanks, Madam Manager. Always bailing me out. So for our 3 o'clock, Sean, that was the latest we have, right? 3 o'clock?
Yeah.
Okay, so for our 3 o'clock forecast, we do have the storm. It jogged a little bit to the east, so that means that it's going to be making landfall a little bit to the south. Now they're thinking maybe the Sarasota area, not the Tampa-St. Pete area. That means that it will track sort of up across the state and go back over water around the Jacksonville area. It still puts us very, very close to the eye of the storm. The good news, it puts us on the west instead of the east side, which means that the winds and the rain won't be quite as strong. However, that can change. As we've been reminding everyone, if you don't like the current forecast, wait till the next one because it will be different. And so we don't want everybody relaxing too much, thinking that it's going to be sort of, if you will, on the better side, because it could jog back to the east. And the morning forecast had it going about 7 miles to the west of Gainesville, the eye of the storm. So we just don't know. We cannot be complacent. Regardless, we expect a significant amount of rain. We're expecting a minimum of 7 inches. And maybe up to 11 to 12 inches before it leaves our area. That means, well, we're going to see flooding, we're going to see road closures. We really want to remind you that it's extremely dangerous to try to cross flooded roads. It's a great way to get stranded, and it might be that nobody can get out there to help you and extract you from that situation. So even if we do not get hurricane or even tropical storm force winds for sustained amounts of time, it's still going to be very, very dangerous out there. But we do expect to see those tropical storm winds. We need to be prepared for that. And of course, you all know that comes with power outages. We also, that means that lift stations might not function for a while. And that really hurts our ability to take wastewater away from your home. So on that note, please, please, please use your flush as little as possible. Don't do laundry during the storm. Try not to take showers during the storm if you can help it. And only use the flushing mechanism when you absolutely need to. The less burden we place on our wastewater system, the less likely it is to not only back up for you, but all of your neighbors. and that can really make a big difference. So just be judicious. Try to take care of all those laundry needs and everything else now, so when that storm hits, we can put as little water down the drains as possible. I think that is it. I'm going to see if any of our other folks, especially the general manager and city manager, have anything to add, and then we'll go right to questions from all of our neighbors here. Madam Manager?
I yield to the general manager.
Okay. Mr. Cunningham?
Yes, thanks, Mr. Mayor. The thing I'll add is, so GRU folks have been preparing. We prepare all year long for emergencies such as this, as well as the rest of the city. All of our folks are in gray sky roles, ready to respond, as well as external resources that we've been able to secure and that are here. As the mayor stated, safety is our top priority, and once it is safe, we will have all city employees available to respond 24/7 as we restore things back to normal. And so with that, I'm available for questions or getting into any other specific issues.
Yeah, thank you. The general manager just reminded me that right now we're worried about preparation and just making it through safely. But I do want to mention recovery. We will have people working as hard as they can and as safely as they can until we're back to fully restored in normal conditions. But please be patient. Everybody is doing their absolute best. I do want to remind everybody, after Irma, GRU was the first utility in the state to have everybody back to 100% connection and operating, but it still took time. And so with GRU, in fact, Mr. Cunningham, can you mention how you prioritize how we restore power once the storm is passed?
Yeah, that's great. So what we do is we first look at essential and critical facilities. And so those facilities really range from everything from hospitals to our power plants to make sure we have power, to police stations, fire stations, and then nursing homes, things that you would think are kind of the highest priority. So those are first. Then the next priority really is trying to restore as many customers as possible, as quickly as possible. So instead of focusing on an individual home, we may focus on an area where we do a little work and we're able to restore 2,000 customers by fixing a pole or hanging a line. And then as we work our way down the list, then it starts getting to individual homes at the end. And so we keep that priority going as we're collecting the data on who's out and who doesn't have power. So we continue to, if you call in or you go to my GNV app, please put in that information because we're utilizing that to make those decisions toward the end on the prioritization.
Yeah, so it's not arbitrary. There is a rhyme and a reason to how we restore. So just be patient. We really plead with you. It's nothing personal. We try to get everybody back as quickly as possible, but somebody has to be first, and that always means, of course, somebody has to be last. So we'll do the best we can. Okay, with that, Taylor, I think we're ready to go over to our neighbors and ask some questions.
Absolutely. Thank you all so much for the updates. We've had many more neighbors join us here, and we're glad that you did. So I just want to remind everyone that you are live on the line for this telephone town hall emergency update with the city of Gainesville regarding Hurricane Ian. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns that you'd like to bring forward tonight, please press 0 on your phone keypad to speak with an operator. You can also press 7 right now to provide an operator with your email address. Email is one of the very best ways for us to keep you up to date on information regarding the storm, as well as other important issues going forward. So to provide your email address, you can go ahead and press 7. Now our first caller here is Lori in Gainesville. She's asked me to read her question. She's asking, my yard rubbish wasn't collected on Monday. I called yesterday and they said to put it out today. It still wasn't picked up today. What should I do considering that I already have broken down branches and limbs? Will it be picked up before the storm comes?
Sure, thanks, Lori. If you press 7 and enter your email, we'll make note of who you are and we'll get somebody back in touch with you. We do not want debris flying around out there, so we'll see if we can get somebody by your home and get that picked up before the storm comes. Thanks for letting us know about that, Lori. So again, just press 7, give us your email, and we'll have somebody from our Public Works Department get back with you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Mayor. And next up here, we have Catherine on the line with us. Catherine, go ahead with your question.
Yes, I'm on the GR.
Oh, so sorry. It looks like we may have lost Catherine, but I do have her question. She was asking if the cell towers are down, can we text to the numbers you're giving to report down trees, etc., or will they not work?
I don't have a good answer on cell towers. I do know in past events, cell towers have not been disrupted. They're built pretty sturdy, but if a full tower is down and there's no coverage in that geographical area, then all cell phone coverage is going to be out. That is true. So the only solution to that would be if you happen to still have internet, you could get in touch that way, or if you have a landline, that would not be affected by it. But if a whole tower goes out, yeah, that's gonna put out cell coverage for all the providers for that geographical area. But again, I'll knock on wood here, that is an unlikely circumstance. That has not happened in our major storm events in the past.
All right, perfect. Well, Catherine, thank you so much. Hope you got your answer there. Let's go ahead and get this next one in from Steven. Steven, you are live with us on the line. Go ahead.
Hi, my name's Steven. I had two questions. I think one was following what you guys were talking about, the priority of restoring utilities, but generally how long would you anticipate? Are we talking days or maybe a week?
Yeah, so for some people it's going to be a few hours. Really once the storm clears and it's safe to get out, and you're gonna literally see thousands of people get restored in a short period of time, because it's one fix can really bring everybody back up. With Irma, we saw some people it took several weeks, and that's just because we could not get to the areas that needed to be restored because of flooding, because of tree debris that needed to be taken out first. But that was pretty unusual. It was a very limited circumstance where a few households were out for more than, say, 2 weeks. But I know this isn't maybe the answer you want, but it's the one I've got. It depends. It really depends on how severe the storm is, how bad the flooding and the tree damage is, and the worse the damage that we incur and the worse the flooding, the longer it's going to take to get everybody back up. And so we'll just have to wait and see. It will not be for lack of resources and effort. That's all that we can tell you. And what's your second question?
Is on the flooding. So the FEMA flood zone maps, how accurate are those based on the expected rainfall?
They're as accurate as we have, and they were recently updated. What we are trying to get across to people, and I'm glad you asked the question, Stephen, if you experience significant flooding during Irma, you should expect significant flooding during this event. There will be at least as much rain in about the same period of time, if not more. And so that's, I think, now if you weren't here for Irma, you might not know. You might want to walk around and ask some folks that live near you, some of your other neighbors. But we expect a very similar flood pattern from what we saw just a few years ago with Irma.
And Mr. Mayor, if I can just add one thing to that with the flooding. So the other thing about flood water, to stay away from it, is it could be energized as well with downed power lines. And so if there is flood water, don't try to test your toe in it or walk through it or see how deep it is or see if you can drive through it. It's really something to avoid.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, everyone. And Stephen, thanks for those questions. Let's go ahead and get to our next caller here. We have Jan up next. Jan, you're live with us. Please go ahead.
Hi. Yes, I would like a repeat of the GRU power outage phone number.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jan, for giving me that opportunity to do that. So again, we really encourage people to save this in their phones. It's 352-334-2871. Again, 352-334-2871. And let me just give the number for the downed trees, blocked roads, flooding, sort of all the other stuff. 352-393-8161. And you can also find those numbers by going to gru.com, and they'll have a link there to find those.
Yeah,
Tony?
gru.com/Storm Central is really that place that has all those numbers and all the tips. And the other thing is, as the mayor mentioned before, the My GNV app is another place you can report power outage.
Or really anything. My GNV is an awesome app. Anything you can think of that you would want to report is there. It's very easy to do, so we encourage you to download that as well. All right, Taylor.
All right, great. Thank you so much, everyone. Let's go ahead and we have our first question coming in on our Spanish simulcast here tonight. Just want to thank everyone so much for joining us on that platform as well. And just another reminder before I read Sonia's question that if you have a question, comment, or concern, you can still get in line by pressing 0. Now with that, Sonia on our Spanish line is asking, when is the storm getting to me? It looks like she's on 39th and 34th Street. I'm hoping you guys know where that is.
We do. Sonia, thanks for the question. At its current track and pace, we expect to start seeing some serious effects of the storm tomorrow morning, some serious rain bands and some wind gusts. And then really by tomorrow afternoon, evening, some of the heavier stuff. And that will continue through Thursday and probably not let up until late Thursday night, early Friday morning. Chief Withers, is that about right based on what you know?
Yeah, there is a little bit of an update. It seems to be slowing down a little bit. So the weather from the morning might be pushed a little bit later into the day. So Wednesday, then more impact on Thursday.
Okay, thanks. So what we really want to encourage you to do is be done with what you need to do tonight and tomorrow. The schools are closed. Most things are going to be closed down, so hopefully you can stay home. It might not seem so bad in the morning. It might seem just like a normal stormy Florida day, but it will continue to get worse and worse, and certainly by late Wednesday and through Thursday into Friday, that's the time you need to be at home and hopefully safe.
All right, thank you so much, everyone. Let's go ahead and take this next one here from Linda. Linda's in Gainesville here with us tonight. Linda, go ahead with your question regarding water.
Yes, on the East Coast, they turn the water off for all their residents. Is the water going to be turned off in Gainesville so there's no tap water, no flush water?
Absolutely not. In fact, we are very proud that in the history of GRU, with all the storms we've had, our water system has never gone down. We don't want to be too cocky about that. And so I have a shelf in my refrigerator filled with every water bottle I could find, the old ones that even leak a little bit, the ones that the kids have banged up. But it's a good idea to fill a bunch of water bottles just for your drinking and potentially cooking needs. But we're pretty confident that our water system will function throughout the storm, and we certainly will not be turning it off for any reason.
All right, perfect. Thanks, guys. Let's go ahead and move right along here. We have lots of great questions coming in here from our residents. Again, if you have a question, go ahead and press 0. Now, with that, I'd like to welcome Mary up here next. Mary, you're live on the line with us. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon. My question is if it does end up still being severe when it hits our area, and we are expected to evacuate, is there a particular radio station we can turn to, or will there be a mass text to let us know that it would be a good idea to start preparing for evacuation?
We do not expect any evacuations. There may be some isolated areas that we know consistently get flooded. And I think especially the county has been making contact with some of those neighborhoods. They know it, they're used to it, but it would be very unlikely that we would have an evacuation order. Usually those are because of storm surge, or you get those incredibly high wind conditions that come in coastal areas. So I wouldn't expect that. But I will say that all of our radio stations here are part of the emergency broadcast network. And so if that sort of eventuality happens, if it gets that severe, whatever your favorite radio station is going to be part of that emergency broadcast network, and they would start letting you know what those conditions are and what you need to do. But again, we're more the place that people evacuate to not from. So I think as long as you're in an area that doesn't typically see flooding, then you're probably going to be okay. If you do experience a lot of flooding, you may want to consider staying at a friend's house or seeking shelter in one of our emergency shelters.
All right, thank you so much, Mary, for joining us here tonight. Next up, I just want to mention, Mayor, that we have had more than one question being submitted already regarding trash pickup. Would you mind just repeating the information you shared in your updates at the beginning of the call, just in case residents may have missed that information?
Absolutely. That was one of my first questions I had too, because I never quite know if I'm missing a day or not. Here's the deal. If your normal trash pickup is on Wednesday, if it's tomorrow, you're good to go. We only ask that you get your carts and recycle bins out tonight, because they are going to be starting their routes and pick up especially early tomorrow, so they can make sure to get finished before the worst of the storm starts hitting us in the afternoon. So Wednesday, you're fine, just get them out tonight. Thursday, you will not have trash or recycling pickup. That's going to be the teeth of the storm, and so not only would it not be safe for all of our waste haulers, but it also would put a bunch of potentially deadly projectiles out there, and we don't want that. So please, it's a good reminder to secure especially your recycle bins, so that just doesn't become debris flying everywhere. So for Thursday, our goal is to reschedule that pickup for Saturday. That will be completely dependent on the severity of the storm and whether our roads are passable and it's just safe to send the waste haulers around. If they are not able to get around Saturday, then it will be postponed until next Thursday. So you'll go 2 weeks without trash pickup. I know that's tough. I'm a Thursday pickup. I'm hoping they can get around on Saturday, but they can only do so if it's possible. We will put notice on if you're part of our normal notification process, whether it's social media or our website, we will let you know as soon as we know that we have a Saturday pickup or not, so you can plan. But we probably won't be able to make that call until at least Friday, and we are able to do an assessment of just how much damage there is and how passable our roads are.
All right, thank you so much, Mayor, for going over that info one more time, just in case folks may have missed it. Super important. Now let's go ahead and take this next one from Maria. She's live on the line with us. Maria, go ahead with your question, please.
Yes, I have a utility pole that's pretty close to my backyard, and if it were to come down, would I, if I can't get hold of GRU because maybe they can't get free to come out or anything, would I not come out of my door because I have like a cement porch, but the rest of my yard is like grass and sand, and the front of my yard can easily flood, so would I not come out even though my porch is like cement?
Yeah, I'm going to allow our General Manager, Tony Cunningham, answer that one. That's a really important question, and I really appreciate you asking it.
Yes, ma'am. I would recommend you do not go out there if there is that threat of any down power line that you may come in contact with, or water that may be energized by a live wire. So I'd recommend you not do that, and when you contact GRU, make that very clear, that condition that you're describing, so that we could address that specifically. So I would recommend that you call GRU in that case and just really be clear and tell them the situation that you have with a potential live wire, potentially in water, near your residence or near your door, and we can respond accordingly to that.
Great question.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. And I just want to remind folks that you are here live on the line for the telephone town hall meeting with the city of Gainesville. And if you have any questions regarding preparation for Hurricane Ian, you can press 0 right now on your phone keypad. Speak with an operator. We'll go ahead and assist you in getting your question in line. Now with that, we have our next question here coming from Lorraine. And Lorraine, I just want to let you know that I see you gave your address to an operator. You're safe with us, but please just refrain from saying that over the air. We want to keep you safe as well here. So go ahead with your question, please, if you would, Lorraine.
Hello. I need oxygen if the power goes out. Can you put this neighborhood on the emergency return to power area? The neighborhood used to be called Anglewood. It's now called Sugarfoot. It's directly south of the Rural Park Theater. So please put that, if the power goes out in that area, please have a hurry to put the power back on because I need oxygen.
Yeah, thank you, Lorraine. And what I would encourage you to do is, and we can help you with this, share your contact with us so GFR can have that information and they can know if a call comes in that they can try to address that the best they can. But what I would really encourage you to do if you know, the situation is serious as it sounds, that you might want to think about taking advantage of the special needs shelter we have at the senior center. You'll be made very comfortable there. That has a backup generator, so they will have power no matter what. And you'll know that there are no problems, because there can be an issue where you know, our crews cannot get to where they need to get to restore power. There might be live wires, there might be significant flooding or blockages of the roads. We just don't know that, and we don't want to take any chances. And so, you know, I think the safest thing for you or for anybody that depends on power for their oxygen or for any other medical needs, to really consider taking advantage of that senior center special needs shelter, because then there will be a guarantee that there not only is power there, but there's folks to help you. It's staffed. You know, we've got public safety folks there to assist, and it's really the best way to make sure that you're safe until the storm passes. So you know, that's we'd like to say that we could do that, but it's really, that would be a false promise, because we just don't know until we know the conditions of the roads and the nature of the outage and all those things.
All right, well, thank you, Mayor, so much. And Lorraine, thank you so much for joining this forum here. Let's go ahead and get right to our next caller here. We have Sam, who asked me to read their question. Sam's asking, compared to Irma, how much more devastating is this hurricane supposed to be?
We don't know. I mean, that's a tough thing with hurricanes. We don't really know until landfall, until it gets to us. This is a very large, very powerful hurricane. Depending on how much time it spends over land will determine a lot about how much it dissipates. Regardless, we do expect at least tropical storm force winds in Gainesville, and we expect a significant amount of water. In fact, I think we're predicting more water for this hurricane than Irma. So even more of the flooding issues, even more of the you know, sort of saturation issues, and then, you know, wind is unpredictable. A lot of times the damage from wind isn't necessarily the sustained winds, but the gusts that we get, and that, you know, that could be just one gust could take out a bunch of trees or poles. So you know, we don't like to be in the prediction game. We like to be in the preparation game and get everybody as prepared and safe as we possibly can. And then once the storm hits, our job is just to stay where we are and be as safe as possible. And then we'll figure out how bad it was and what our recovery effort's going to look like after the fact.
All right, well, thanks so much, Sam. And we have another question here from Angela, who also wants me to read her question. Mayor, you mentioned there would be a regular trash pickup for tomorrow. Does that also apply to yard waste pickup?
Yes, yeah, yard waste pickup will happen as usual tomorrow, but again, not on Thursday. And on that note, we will, Taylor, we will help people with where yard waste can be taken after the storm. There'll be a couple options. I know for me, I wanted to pick up as much yard waste and take it somewhere because I have a truck that I can do that with. So we'll put up all that information about, you know, where you can take yard waste. There might be some temporary sites, we don't know yet. And then again, we really implore patience. There's going to be literally tons and tons of debris. and it's just going to take a while to get it all picked up. So, we'll do our best, but it's going to be a Herculean effort to get all that debris taken away from our neighborhoods.
Hey, thanks guys so much. Appreciate it. Let's go ahead. Let's see. Next up here, I see Don with us as well. Don, you are now live. Please go ahead with your question.
Great. Thank you. So we said that like GRU avenues are going to be closed tomorrow. And I do know if you have a late fee, if you're late fee, there'll be a late fee. Well,
Sure.
Will that be waived? Will that late fee be waived?
Yeah, I'm so glad you asked that question. We'll ask Mr. Cunningham to talk about if you have bills due, or because GRU facilities will be closed tomorrow through the weekend. But if you have bills due or payments, Mr. Cunningham, what can they expect with that?
Yeah, I believe Don was your name. So late fees are being waived, as well as disconnections the rest of the week and through the weekend, because the offices are closed Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
So if you can get in early next week, that's great. If you cannot, if you've got a mobility challenge or anything else, just call GRU and we'll get customer service to help figure out what we need to do to keep your power turned on. And we know that's so important in these days after a hurricane.
And you can call, the office is closed, but folks will be there, so you could call 334-3434 to talk about payments, and as well as next week, as the mayor mentioned, if you have challenges getting there on Monday.
All right, thanks, Don. And Mayor, I'm seeing a lot of questions, more than one here, regarding shelters. Where are the shelters in town? I have someone else asking what shelters will accept pets. Have to protect those furry friends here as well. So a couple of questions here. Do you mind just talking about shelters here?
Of course, and first and foremost, please do not leave your pets behind. This is a terrifying circumstance for them, and they need their human friends there with them. You need those pets with you. So fortunately, we do have 2 pet-friendly shelters that are open. They are open right now and will continue to be open, until it's unsafe to allow more people in when those storm winds get to 35 miles an hour. But those are at Eastside High School and Newberry Sports Complex. So both those, sort of one east and one west in the county, will accept pets. We also have our special needs shelter. So this is anybody that really has medical special needs. They can go to the Senior Center on 34th Boulevard or 34th Street, right near 441, and they'll be well taken care of there. And then finally, the no pet shelter is Meadowbrook Elementary School. So if you are allergic or just don't be around our furry or feathery little friends, then you can go to Meadowbrook. There are also a couple backup shelters that will open once those shelters hit 75% capacity. So we'll have to see how how people are coming into the shelters before we know that.
All right, next up here, let's take this next one from Willie, if we can, and I believe that's how you pronounce your name. Willie, go ahead. Sorry if I mispronounced that for you. Go ahead, you're live.
So, baby, yes, my turn?
Yes, it is. Welcome. Go ahead.
Okay. Oh, okay. So, my first question is our condominium do not, we don't own a garage. So our car parked on the parking lot. So you mentioned 7-inch to 11-inch water may cause flood. So is our car in the parking lot going to be in danger? The first question.
Ma'am, I have no way to know that. Really every place is different if you're on high ground or low ground. What I would do is ask your neighbors if they've lived there for a little while, if they typically have flooding. I would even say in heavy rain events, if your parking lot floods, it's a pretty good bet it's going to flood during this event. If your neighbors say yes, it did flood during Irma, or it does regularly flood during heavy storm events, you may want to consider relocating your car, and you can do so for free at our Southwest parking garage downtown here.
The garage address?
Yeah, it's right downtown in Gainesville.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, if you just got Google Maps, it's sort of first and second, I think.
It's on Southwest Second Street.
Southwest Second Street and like First Avenue. And what was your second question?
Second question is, do we have estimate the wind range between what miles per hour to what miles per hour? Because my building was built in 1974, so I have no idea what kind of wind it can stand. So whether I need to go to shelter or not.
Yeah, I'm guessing your building was probably built solidly enough. But Mr. Withers, do you have the sort of wind estimates?
The wind estimates should be between 35 and as high as 75 miles an hour. Most of the time it'll be between that 35 and 45 miles an hour range.
Thanks, yeah, so those are tropical storm force winds, not quite hurricane force winds. Now, you know, a gust can take off some shingles and start a roof coming off or bring a tree down. Those are very unpredictable things, but it's pretty unusual to see a full structure you know, blown over or you know, damaged severely with tropical storm force winds. That's more when you get up to your, you know, coastal impact and sort of category 3, 4, and 5 hurricanes. And so I would think that you would be safe in your home. So the address for the garage is 220 Southeast 2nd Avenue. It's right downtown, and there's actually waymaking. There's place. That's not it. Never mind.
Yeah, 220 is the private garage.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, just if you Google Southwest Parking Garage, it's right downtown. It's super easy to find, and there's also signs downtown that point to how you get to it.
105 Southwest 3rd
Okay,
Street.
105 Southwest 3rd Street. 105 Southwest 3rd Street. Thank you.
All right. Hey, yeah, thanks, guys. Really appreciate that on-the-fly information here. Let's go ahead and try to get this next question in from Anthony. Anthony, you are live with us on the line right now. Welcome. Go ahead with your question.
Yes, good afternoon. My question here is not a question, it's my concern. About those who will let us use private generator when their power goes out. Is there any special advice from you guys to them?
For using generators, absolutely. I'm so glad that you asked that question. Chief, you want to answer that?
Sure.
Yeah. This is our Gainesville Fire Rescue Chief, Dixon.
Good evening, sir. As the mayor said, Chief Dixon, the use of portable generators, we want to make sure that you use them outside in well-ventilated areas away from doors, windows, and vents. You also, even though you do use it outside, you want to make sure you have a working carbon monoxide alarm in your home. You certainly shouldn't use it in a wet area because it can cause, we've been talking about shocks and electrocution. That's a damage, potential danger. Also, anything you connect to it should be with a heavy-duty extension cord. And if it's certainly if it's gas powered, you do not want to try to refill it while it's running because that could also cause a fire. Does that answer your question or address your concerns?
Yes, of course. Thank you very much.
You're quite welcome.
Thank you for asking that, Anthony. That's an important question. Yeah, go ahead. Tony Cunningham.
I was just going to add one thing as well. Don't connect any generator to your main electrical system. That could really cause an issue as power is restored. So if you do run your generator outside, as the chief mentioned, don't connect it to your main electric system in the house. You can plug appliances into it, but don't connect it to your main electric system.
Yeah, thank you. You could end up doing a lot more damage than you would like to do. Okay, Taylor, do we have time for one more question, perhaps?
Yeah, actually, Mayor, I was going to ask you if you could just briefly review some closures in the city, you know, tonight, tomorrow, etc. Would you mind?
Absolutely. So all city facilities will be closed starting tomorrow. That's, you know, building permits, GRU administration building where you pay your bills, sort of everything. All of our parks are going to be closed except Depot Park. We're giving one last respite to all those moms and dads and grandpas and uncles and aunts. Take your kids to Depot Park, run them wild, until noon, and then we are going to ask them very politely to go home, and everybody will need to be sheltering in place at that point. Some other closures: all Alachua County Public Schools are closed, the University of Florida, Santa Fe College, the Alachua County Animal Shelter, Alachua County Tax Collector, the Alachua County Supervisor of Elections, all city facilities, Alachua County Library District, Alachua County Property Appraisers, Alachua County Sheriff's non-essential employees are closed down, and the 8th Circuit Court is closed as well. And then one last one, because I know that we'll get calls about it regardless, but if you are a Wednesday trash collection household, put it out tonight. We'll get to it tomorrow. If you are a Thursday, do not put it out. Please, 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 do not put it out. It will not be collected on Thursday. If we're able to get our recovery going and get trucks out there, we'll do it on Saturday. But if that's not possible, you'll have to wait until next Thursday. And one other thing I think we all probably saw, but the Gator game against the mighty I don't know what's of Eastern Washington has been postponed until Sunday at noon. And so there's also no Gator game on Saturday. I think I hit everything. Taylor, was there anything else?
You know, I was just going to thank everyone for joining us here tonight. It is all the time we have, and I hope that everyone was able to grab as much information as they could. Just please stay safe as you can. So at this time, Mayor, if you want to just go ahead and wrap us up with any more reminders.
Well, yes, thank you. We all are in the same situation. We want you to look out for your neighbors, develop a plan, get ready tonight. Make sure you have those batteries and those flashlights and those candles, and everything's ready to go. I want to thank our 2,400 people that work for the city of Gainesville that will be working tirelessly over the next several days and weeks to keep us safe, especially our first responders, folks from Gainesville Fire Rescue, the police department, our GRU workers, our public works folks that are going to be putting themselves in harm's way, so you are safe. We also want to thank all of our partners at the university, at the county, the school board, all of our business owners. This is a difficult situation. We've been through it before. We know we'll get through it again together. We're asked to center faith, hope, and love. The first amongst these is always love. And so if you can please show love and kindness to one another and to all of our city workers as we work to keep you safe and get you back restored to normal, we would very much appreciate it. We're going to do the absolute best we can, and all we want is for you to be safe. We want no loss of life or serious injuries during this event. Please take it seriously. And with that, I thank you for joining us for this telephone town hall.